Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment of what is maybe the Quickview series, but I don't know. There's a set of tires that are going to appear before you, and the set of tires is here for one reason. I wanted these wheels because I thought they looked kind of sick. Deep barrel. I'm a sucker for oil slick. They're not actually black. They're this color. I painted them black. I like a good kit bash. Taste is subjective. Quality is not. I don't know if I would recommend that you buy these wheels. They use 1.4 millimeter hardware. Also, you see no seam? It's all a one-piece barrel. So all these little holes are going to be left empty. Why am I going to put screws in there? They don't do anything. Also, the backs use microscopic. You need do you have a 1.3 millimeter driver on hand? Because you need one to put these together. Also, the ring, the lip, typically, you see the depth of that? That's real deep. You're usually looking at 61, 62 millimeters across the face like that. Yeah, these are 59. Like, they barely grab a tire. But they look good. Sometimes we make those sacrifices for vanity. We're doing that right now. That set of wheels was available for about $10 more with these tires on them. And I have never seen this tire before. And I thought, well, I mean, we have to. We have to. There's a very strong chance they're going to be terrible. And I've made the analogy before about the motion picture Apartment 1303. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. It has no redeeming qualities. It's absolutely horrible. It came out over 10 years ago. I am still questing to find a movie worse than that one. At the bottom of the Crawler Canyon tire test leaderboard is the Remo Hobby ST 1093. It's the worst tire we've ever tested. It has a score so low, it's almost unbelievable. Getting a tire below a score of 70 is extremely difficult. I'm not saying that this tire is guaranteed to get a score below 70, but boy, do I have an Apartment 1303 tingle about it, because this is the COPSSRC TAOON. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the TAOON we've all been waiting for, whether we knew we were waiting for it or not. The thing is, when I saw COPSSRC, they've kind of sort of approximated the Cross RC font. So I went and I looked on the Cross RC website to see if this pattern occurs, and it does. This is the Cross RC SP4. This is the tire that comes on the Demon, but it isn't, because Cross, so far as I could ascertain, only makes this in a 1.9. This is definitely a 2.2. It is a 2. It is the exact same thread. The Cross has the little lightning bolt indents. It's not quite as pronounced. Like, this is like cornices. This is like trim that would be on the outside of a building. That's not just side lug. That's, I mean, look at that. They hang out over the edge like 7 millimeters. The TAOON also shares something with it in that this is the foam that came in the TAOON. I have 4 of them. It is without question. This, in terms of the TAOON, proves nothing. It proves nothing. The TAOON foam is RC four-wheel drive included. The most rigid foam I've ever seen. Might try to, yeah, there you go. There's about, so he's 3,000 grams. Figure Susan's probably in the 2 kilo range. There's 7,500 grams on those foams. They have deflected maybe 10% of their overall height. Without, did you see any rebound at all? They didn't even move. No one else even need apply for the job. The stiffest foam I've ever felt. That and that. Actually, this feels a little less dense. Like I can deflect it a little more. Stiffest foams. Guys, you shouldn't be able to make that kind of a noise with a foam. I'm excited. I'm excited because what do we love? Awful. We want the ridiculous and the sublime. I'm hoping that these are ridiculous enough that they achieve like a sublime status. I want to giggle. These are Crawler Innovations comp cuts. Because if you're going to take what is... We're at the very least hoping for the worst 2.2 tire we've seen. And we've seen some terrible ones. My goal... I'm going to be a little bit disappointed if it doesn't score below a 70. I have this feeling... They smell exactly like a tire shop. And that generally means that they're just made out of rubber. They just filled the mold with generic... It's got the black stuff in it, the carbon black, to make them black. They filled them with rubber. How come nobody makes a natural rubber tire? Remember like gum erasers, natural rubber? Natural rubber is very soft. Somebody should make a natural rubber tire. Don't put the carbon in it. I don't know if that would affect the grip, but by the same token, we've seen so many tires that have a level of grip utterly inexcusable. Like, how can you get it so wrong? I'm mounting this one for the first time on foams that cost, like if we're looking at, I have not seen these tires separately. The cross ones, on the other hand, we have only tested, in my memory, one set of cross tires, the Black Rocks. They were sent in because they were takeoffs from a vehicle. The Cross RC Black Rock are god-awful. They are terrible. And Cross sells their tires at a price point that is utterly inexplicable. The MSRP on the Cross RC, I think they call them mud crawlers. We got a buddy. He's on the move. We'll see if there might be a guy coming into frame right over here. $40 a pair for Cross tires. And we've never seen one that was even... Is he coming? He's headed right towards the little guy. Here he comes. He's moving real slow. Oh, little guy's on the move. If you've got arachnophobia, don't look too close. I don't understand Cross's pricing. I want to say that on the leaderboard, the Black Rocks are at something like $90 a set, is what Cross sells them for. And they are terrible. These are effectively $10 a set because it was about $50 to get, I think it was 55. Was that after tax? Let's call it 55. It was about 45 to get the wheels by themselves. And I was iffy about it. Would I buy them again? No. But they were fitted with the COPSSRC TAOONs. And I do enjoy saying TAOON. It's up there with the Super in terms of just stupidiotic factor. So I am on board. I have been absolutely hungering to get all formatted. Do we have a... Oh. You know what? Certainly not the worst we've ever heard. That brings me down a little, because I was hoping that these would go full Starsky on the bench. I gotta take one off anyway. This is, we've only done this like 125 times. Why would I get the order of operations correct? I'm excited. I want a sub 70. If these go above 70, it's going to be kind of a bummer. 139. That's pretty tall. That's very nearly 5.5 by... I would call it 60. Does that look like 60 wide to y'all? I'd call that 60 wide. 139 by 60, which is 2 and 5/16. Looks like about 2 and 5/16. What do they say? 136 by 55. Yeah, not even close. Not even close. And the foams that they're in are for 22 LPs, because I knew I could get away with 22 LP foams because we've got a lug height of, jeez, it's got to be 6 or 7 millimeters. The insert is soft enough. I was going to say we could probably put a 5 millimeter lugs, a little over 5.15 millimeter on the lug. That's relatively tall. It's certainly not the tallest we've seen. It's not overwhelmingly tall for, for a 139 tire. So let's just round up. Out of 140, we got 10 millimeters of lug. That's not tight. That's not tight either. When these 5 millimeter nuts are new, they're really, that nylon is, there you go. That nylon is real floppy. All right. COPSSRC TAOON, a clone, an inexplicable clone. Cloning, I apologize. Cloning cross tires is, I don't know, like, we've never met a good one. But yet at the same time, I mean, is it that there are intellectual properties that are not pursued? Because everybody, every knockoff artist, every clone manufacturer has made a Hyrax, and the real Hyrax is one of the worst performing Pro-Line tires. Do they just not go after that one? I don't understand. Why are there not clone trenchers out there? Trenchers do great. They've been around as long as the Hyrax. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the clone market works, to be completely frank with you. So let us go out to the rocks and find out what can we even expect of the COPSSRC TAOON? Come with me and you'll see something vaguely resembling a tire. It's TAOON. It makes an incredible amount of lug noise. What was it? We reviewed something fairly recently where was it the 22 Hustler, where someone said it sounded like 7 tires skidding all at the same time? Yeah, the TAOON kind of has that same feel. Yet, Dagnabbit. That was actually sort of okay. Oh. It's trending towards my happy place now. Get that down a little. Oh. I really want to maximize that lug noise. Oh. Just soak it in, you know? That is something. It's kind of impressive. I'm trying to think if I've heard anything louder. Yeah, there's a point in the throttle band where there's just nothing there. Dang it, that's not even a 7.5 though. That's better than that. They're loud. Can't take that away. And there's so much slip. That's like modestly okay. Dang it. I don't see any way that we're gonna end in the bottom 10 on these. I had low hopes. I had elevated, lowered expectations. There is a defined point where they run out of track. I mean, they're still terrible. They're not as bad as I would have liked. That was a good drop back there. Ooh, they're getting a little worse. Yeah, they're getting a little worse. A little more. Yeah, there we go. Increase throttle, Captain. That's what I like to see. This is why I'm here. This is what I'm hoping for. This is why I have a second battery in my pocket, because these 850s, they don't really like to withstand this level of... There we go. Oh, that's noticeable. That is noticeable. Look at that. I gotta say this. The Starsky, or lack thereof, was a little bit of a warning sign. Get a little free run in them. Okay. Now we're swinging back the other way. For a tire with lug sound this unbelievably high, these are actually doing all right. Still terrible, but factor in the $10. The rims, honestly, are probably comparable quality to the tire. Now, lest we forget, this is the Class 3 test protocol. So the TAOON has ample opportunities to show us more of its true colors. I have deliberately not written down the Slick Rock score. I want to see it at the end. Yeah, you get to a certain point. There's definitely a certain level of verticality where these just go nowhere. And there's no real maneuverability. That side lug is remarkably big, but does not do anything. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's chef's kiss right there. Oh, yeah. Get it? Get it? They are wildly unpredictable. Traction, no. Traction, a little. Traction, no. Traction, yes. They catch and release without warning. I mean, near complete inability to breach on, right? There's nothing, there's no physical impediment in front of that. You kind of can't go anywhere you want to go. They'll go. But this at Staircase is definitively we're sitting on a 7.5. But to take the 7.5 home, we have to be able to do it again. Yeah, there it is. You can repeat it, not well, with a lot of throttle input. You still, oh, you crafty devil. The TAOON, COPSSRC. We may still end up in the 70s. It's not that I'm actively rooting against the TAOON. I'm rooting for it. Nobody remembers who got an 89. Nobody cares. This tire is certainly not going to score above a 93, which is the no-go line. Yes. 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 Show me your weaknesses. Get it hooked. Get it hooked. We might have been a little. Oh no, it's just falling away. Falling away from me. Okay. All right. Oh, you. That was okay. That was okay. We get a little bit. Whoa. There's a line out there for these that is razor thin. If you're to one side or the other, like, there's no certainty to it at all. I had hope. That first flop off the side hill, I was like, yes, it can do it. But get right through here. And, yeah. Damn. That's a little better. Okay, that's the best we've seen it do anything yet, even counting that early fall. We're sitting on a 1.5 point differential, 7.5 at staircase, 9.0 here. Like a 9 is like basically minimum level of competency. The difference between the 7.5 and the 9 being 7.5 is task is repeatable barely. 9 is, again, minimum established level of competency. We can do it more than once. We can stick to about the same line, but there is a razor's edge of completion out there. Like, that's a make, and that's not a super easy line to jostle in between those two rocks. And it did it, but again, that's like that 9.0 minimum level of competency. It was sliding all over the place. There are plenty of tires out there that have such surplus of forward drive that you can point them, where he's pointed out, point it right like this, and it will just climb it. These are going to go wherever they want. I'm feeding it steering input constantly. And if you get right in there, that was a lot of throttle. So right about there. This is the easier approach. What's the side? There you go. Yeah. So they're gonna do the thing. They're gonna do the thing, which is we can do that. Even if we're in the midst of a mechanical, one tire should be able to get enough grip to do something. Shuttle us one way or the other. This tire is rapidly establishing itself in a way that I could not have anticipated, which is a minimum level of competency. Again, we're going to get the double-edged sword is just swinging around, hacking limbs off. I've tested tires that are objectively worse than this that cost significantly more than this. The Hustler is indeed worse than this, and these were, in my mind, this is how I rationalize it to myself, these came free with purchase. Not the first time we've tested free with purchase tires. So any tire that's ever done, I mean, it's amazing how bad the surface transition is with a lug that big. They do climb better than anything else this loud. But there is a real point where traction it just stops. That was so much slip. They have no precision. There's nothing in the way of precision. The front tires float and glide. And again, there's $60 worth of inserts in there, which is, you know, is a problem. Oh. Oh. It will increase your stability. It's going to make it nearly impossible for you to flip over because they don't bind up enough. They like a level of throttle at about 40%. There's that, you're hunting for that razor's edge. When you run afoul of that line, the fallback. If I could get that nose to push over at all, ordinarily you can't use this level of throttle in this situation. Are you kidding me? No, that just had to be a dip. There's no way that battery's dead already. It's just because I was so wide open on it. That's why there's a battery in my pocket. We have to use so much throttle. It just, I would have been so much happier. Look at him, poor little guy. There we go. I would have been so much happier, you know, at one end of the spectrum or the other. Now there's thinking, and then there's going to be math. And it's this worst case scenario baseline of competence, right? It almost makes that up there. We don't want almost. Fail completely or succeed. Don't be the almost. I did not want to come out here and have the TAOON be a cautionary tale. I'm not even trying the fence side. There's no chance it makes it. It'll get close enough to be frustrating. We're trying to save battery. I feel like it's a complaint not often made, but it's valid nonetheless. Why are my tires not terrible enough? The surface transition is horrific. Transitioning from near flat to any incline is some of the worst. And we've got more than enough grip to get through there. How will we do on the pirouette? Not bad. There is a stability. Good on the turn in. How much of this is the Crawl Innovations? I don't know. It is the tire that is exhibiting the most amount of grip and the least amount of grip simultaneously. It's really strange. Somebody's going to be like, cut lugs out. Run them backwards. They're non-directional. That fall away right there was enormous. But we don't have enough traction to bind the rear end up when we do this. Dual stage is holding it in there. Maybe. I might have gotten too close on the high side. No, it didn't. My gosh. It's infuriating. It remains infuriating. Yeah, I said minimum level of competency there. I agreed on that there. This is the best it's done right here. I don't know. It's a throwaway score, you know, but just have to keep reminding myself that this is how science works. You test it on the same protocol that you test everything else. Much as we would all love it, they can't all be 9.8 straight across. It's not how it works. There we go. Definitely not Dutch 200ing today. Hook there. If we hit soft side, we can just write a number down. The most and the least grip simultaneously. That right there was as close as it's come to where I'd be like, if it could perform at that level on everything, I might be like, yeah, I mean, give him a shot. And then we do this. Unbelievable. The most and least grip simultaneously. Okay. Okay, the bump is, grip-wise, the bump is awful. Positionability-wise, it's modestly okay. Forward drive-wise, it borders on the catastrophic. Oh, there we go. Wait. Yeah. We might still have enough to make it to the next one. We're not going to go full-blown existential crisis today, but it is on a level frustrating. I assuage myself by reminding the same self that we do have a chance to throw down some fives. There's a chance he won't even be able to get onto this. Okay, hook top edge. Stay in. Nope. That top tire needs to stay in contact with the ground, or we're not getting up there. Whoa! They will not go where you want to go. It's starting to look a little bit like insanity. Trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Okay, stay hooked in, stay hooked in. Nope. I have to stay a lot longer on this way. Okay, is it enough? Is it enough? It's about finding that razor's edge that these will actually do. No, I can do that all day. I'm going to give it one more shot. That intersection of traction and no traction is occurring right there. Yeah, it doesn't have nearly enough to get up over anything approaching vertical. Okay, we stay on the steer. We got to get pumpkin over. Okay, we're going to ignore the marker if we can get to it. Okay, going outside, complete over the top there. All right, one shot. 6.3. We almost managed to do it. It would take 10 tries to do it again. 6.3, of course, famously residing halfway between a 5 and a 7.5. Yeah. I was checking with my notes to see if I now agree with myself on the forward drive. You find that chalk line. Imagine a line drawn on the course with a piece of chalk. If you find a way to stick on that monorail. Like they make those robots that can follow a line that you draw. If you do that, this will grip. You deviate from that line, you're gonna do this. Rock bounced it through. I think that this amount of total available grip is not going to do tremendously well once the Water Nation strikes. How would these do if they were on fire? I don't know. I mean, would they do better under attack by the Fire Nation than the Water Tribe? Come on, show me what you got. You know what? Actually, really don't get appreciably worse. They're about the same. That's the biggest single surprise. You know what? Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yeah, they definitely don't get any worse. For a hint of a moment there, I thought about bumping up their wet score to a little bit above their dry score. Because, like, I guess the rock's cleaned up, the tires in the rock are cleaned off now. So we arrive then at what sort of resembles an end, where we tally it all up, and if my simplified math is correct, 83.4. That puts it on the leaderboard in 61st place, right between the old S3 Injora King Trekker and the Hot Storm Sawtooth ATC, which is actually just below the Cross Blackrock. Cross Blackrock got an 88. It doesn't matter. Nobody remembers you if you're in here with the Red Cat Terrain MT9 and the Super Brekirks, the G-Made MT1903s. I would like to point out that this is just slightly in score above the 1.55-inch crystal pin, the dog toys that for April Fool's Day we put on some Tamiya semi-truck, plastic semi-truck wheels, and they actually did reasonably okay. I mean, for a dog toy, they did pretty good for a dog toy. The Boom Racing Max Grappler's worse. Tiger Dog Blaze are worse. There's a couple more Red Cats down there, a couple more G-Mades down there. There's a lot of tires worse than these. I was genuinely hoping that these would be somewhere in the low 70s down there with the Hustlers and the 1.9, the original Super Brekirks, the fake crawlers. But nay, 83.4, which is terrible. It's forgettable. It is absolutely what it is. I am disappointed in that they could not be something fantastically terrible or terribly fantastic. They could achieve, they are lukewarm, so I spit them out. They could achieve no longevity, aside from the fact that their name is the COPSSRC TAOON, which sounds like a character from Star Wars. It's the best they've got going for them. These cannot be salvaged. Somebody is going to make a suggestion about how to make these better, and I'm going to remind them now in advance, pre-crime style, that it's an 83.4. You can never, ever, 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 ever make an 83.4 good enough to make it decent. It's 10 points away from the do not go below line. 62nd place, 61st, 62nd place, I don't know. When the spreadsheet resets itself, no one remembers what tire is in 61st place. We remember who's at the top, and we remember who's at the bottom. It's the Sedona and the Remo Hobby, the opposite ends of the spectrum. This is just literally tossed somewhere in the middle. We're getting around 120. This is kind of in the middle, shamefully. Shame on the manufacturers that make it. Shame on us for letting them get away with it. We'll see who breaks the tie. There's still good stuff to be found to a point. These are not even sad making. They exist, and that's about all you can say about them. Other than that they are the COPSSRC TAOON. And that part will stick with me a little. Just like Super Brekirk. I didn't remember where they were on the leaderboard, but everybody remembers Super Brekirk. Maybe, I mean, we keep trying. We'll find another Amazon or AliExpress clone that's made in a terrible compound, and maybe it will somehow be worse. Maybe we'll find another Mix Racing Fake Tusk where it's actually good. So far, it's the only one. Of all the clones, that's the only one that I would actively tell people to actually buy. Don't buy these. Don't buy the rims that they come on either. They're RC dumb wow, num wow, whatever, something like that. Just don't. To the point where I will not link to them in the description. Don't do it to yourself. I do this so that you don't have to. What you do have to do, it's not mandatory, but it is at least recommended, is drop a comment below. Come on back and see us again sometime in the future. In between now and then, please one and all do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. Do at least one of those things, and if you can only choose one, do your very best. Have a good one. We will hopefully see you again in the future. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. We end on this. He thought that he was getting out clean being a Class 3 guy, but no, my good friend. There's plenty of garbage waiting out there for you. Do we think that we can self-write him backwards? No, these are terrible. These are terrible, but it's a good day. Thank you so much. I will see you all next time.